From the Dead Sea Scrolls is somebody out there south of Jericho. Boy, he found them skipping rocks, and it predated Jesus, so it was always the prophecies came true, and that's the most important message that I'm trying to get to you. I don't know which Bible form this is, and always remember the BC years go backwards. It runs it down. Anyways, Isaiah 52:13. See, my servant will act wisely. He will be raised and lifted up on highly exalted, just as there was many who were appalled at him. His appearance was so disfigured beyond that of any man, his form marred beyond any human likeness. So will he sprinkle many nations, and kings will shut their mouths because of him. For what they were not told, they will see, and what they have not heard, they will understand. And who will believe in our message? And to whom is the arm of the Lord been revealed? And he grew up before him like a tender shoot, and like a root out of the dry ground. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows and familiar with suffering, and like one from whom men hide their faces. And he was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he took up our infirmities and carried our sorrows, and yet we considered him stricken by God and smitten by him and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities, and the punishment that brought us peace was upon him. And by his wounds we are healed. And we are like sheep that have gone astray. Each of us turned to his own ways, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed and afflicted, and yet he did not open his mouth. He was led like a lamb to a slaughter, and as a sheep before the shearers is silent, and so he did not open his mouth. And by oppressions and judgment he was taken away. And who can speak of his descendants? For he was cut off from the land of the living. For the transgressions of my people he was stricken, and he was assigned in the grave with the wicked and with the rich his death. And though he had done no violence, nor was there any deceit in his mouth, and yet it was the Lord who will crush him and cause him to suffer. And though the Lord makes his life of guilt offerings, and he will see his offspring and prolong his days, and will of the Lord will prosper in his hands. After the suffering of his soul, he will see the light of life and be satisfied by his knowledge. And my righteousness servant will justify many, and he will bear their iniquities. Therefore I will give him a portions among the great, and he will divide the spoils with the strong. Because he poured out his life unto death, and was numbered with the transgressions, for he bore the sins of many, and he made intercessions for the transgressions. He sure did. Thank you, Jesus, for everything you did. Now, how could that not be true? That predates him.